In this anxious society, it's easy to have low self-esteem, low confidence, and being unsure and doubtful of yourself. The key to remove these feelings of low self-esteem and low confidence is to do what you love wholeheartedly and not to internalize what outsiders say about you. This is difficult to do because most people live and walk through their life, living life externally or living life outside of themselves, when the real reality is from within. People hear this, but they don't internalize it. So they still feel affected from when naysayers talk down on them. They feel affected when family members scare them outside of their goals, scare them away from their goals. You have to internalize that people on this external reality, when you live outside of yourself, people really don't care. People don't care as much as you think. You're your own worst critic, thus making you're your own fault of having low self-esteem. I don't want to get into victim blaming. I don't want to get into people putting you down when you already put yourself down. Let's have some accountability, people. I get that you may have been bullied. I get that you may be the black sheep. I get that you were that introverted, weird kid in the back of the classroom. But we cannot let our mind eternalize past events, because everything that happens under this sun happens with a reason. It's the chosen ones that gets bullied. It's the people that change the world that get ostracized and exiled. Look at all the religious stories. Jesus Christ had 13 followers. They still exiled him. They still crucified him. And today people are worshiping this figure. Whether you believe it's fiction or fact, the fact still stands that people are worshiping it and believing this story. So if you really want to change and be disruptive and just fuck this world up, you got to get rid of that low self-esteem and low confidence. When you have low self-esteem and low confidence, you're inside your head. You could tell when someone is living inside of their head by just looking at their body language, just by hearing the conviction in their voice. You know, this was probably like 2 years ago when I had this job, and I used to work next to this woman, right? And while I was sitting down next to her, I could just feel her energy, this anxious energy. And she would always be, tapping her leg, shaking her leg. And when you would call her, she would quickly turn around. And it got to the point where it was annoying. It was annoying. On top of it, she would wear boots with like a buckle. So whenever she's shaking her foot, you would hear the belt buckling, click, 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 click. And it would be a quiet office, and we'd be looking like, this girl needs to stop. And sometimes she would catch herself, but people pick up on anxiety. People pick up on that nervous energy. People pick up on the energy around you. And I'll tell you now, when I was sitting next to that girl, although you may be anxious, although you may have anxiety, nobody really cares, or nobody's really looking at you like how you think they are. She only brought attention to herself because she was tapping her foot. If she faked it till she made it, it probably would have been harder. It probably would have been tougher for her. But you learn to build up a shield, and you learn how to walk in your own skin by having that stomach, that the guts to do it. But People feel more comfortable tapping their foot, biting their nails, playing with their hair, looking at their phone, rather than just being out in this world, right? You be out in this world, and it takes practice. It takes practice. It just doesn't come in one night. It doesn't come in 1 month. People don't have the discipline to go further to get that, to become that confident person they want to be. People don't have the discipline to become that person with high self-esteem. Also, to get rid of this low self-esteem is to do things that make you feel better about yourself. Working out, creating a project, cooking meals. These self-missions, I call them self-missions, that no one else has to know about, right? Practicing good posture, talking to yourself nicely in the mirror. All of this seemed like common sense, but others need a push into the direction, you know? Some people are stuck in their, everybody's watching me. What do they think? What do people like me? Not to be harsh, but people probably aren't even thinking about you. We're all in our own reality. Everybody has their own struggles. Somebody could probably, tap you on the shoulder and you got off guard, and you're probably in your head thinking like, wow, I'm such an anxious prick. When in reality, that person is probably depressed too, or that person's like, damn, I'm anxious too, or like, damn, I'm not even thinking about it. He's probably going through some shit. Nobody cares. There's this phenomenon called the spotlight effect, where you think people are watching when they're really not. People are not really watching as much as you think. And I learned this through modeling. I modeled for New York Fashion Week a couple times, and during my first few walks, I was nervous, but people are not really watching you. They're watching the garment, or they're taking pictures of the phone, or they're looking at the next model, they're looking at the past model. People really don't give a fuck as much as you think. And once you come outside of that shell of low self-esteem, you realize that, damn, I could have been like this my whole life. But I know it's not so black and white. But for those of you with low self-esteem and low confidence, it takes you breaking down that barrier, breaking down that wall to come out and fully, feel confident about yourself. When I started YouTube, I was fiddling, fumbling, stuttering, all types of shit, right? My older videos is all up, and I'm going to be looking back at this video right now and saying like, damn, I was not that good. But it all comes in progress. Don't diminish the process. Don't diminish your progress. Just keep moving forward and get 2% better each day. This has been More Studios. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, subscribe. And until next time, you guys be well. 1.